live in my feminine energy around my man.
Okay.
And I feel like that's how it should be, you know, but that's not the situation, you know, for a lot of people, and that's okay too. I'm not judging, but just me and my...
No, you are judging. Yes,
no,
you is.
I'm not judging.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
really not.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just feel like women should live in their feminine energy and men should live in their masculine energy. That's just how I feel, but if you don't feel that way, I respect it too. You know, I've seen relationships where the woman is more dominant, you know, and more assertive, and that's okay if that's what works for you. But for me, I want to be soft. I don't want to be hard all the time. Now, are there my moments where I'm pissed off and I'm aggressive? Of course. But
yeah, because you just said you used to put your hands on men.
I used to.
What's up, world? From Filed and Polished, the first luxury nail care service that is exclusive and affordable. I'm your host, T. Davis, and this is On the Top Coat, the show where we talk and just do nails. Today's special guest is the critically acclaimed fire starter, the one who starts the most fights, outbreaks in public, and on recent news, the internet. The one, the only, Miss Precious Paige. How you doing today?
Hey y'all.
What's up?
Not much.
Y'all right? Alright, so you know, we're gonna get your nails done for you.
Yes,
and
much
you know,
needed.
we definitely gotta talk about what you've been doing, how you've been starting fights out here.
Why do you keep saying that?
You know what I'm saying? Cause she's been starting fights, y'all. And I've been in the comments, I've been watching it. You know, but first things first, how did you come to start your podcast?
I feel like I've always done it. Like I've always recorded myself, me and my friends, just chatting. I used to do a lot of Facebook Lives.
Okay.
And people would always say, you gotta do a podcast, you gotta do a podcast. And I was like, podcast, really? And one day it was just on my heart, like, yeah, put some content out, see what the reaction is.
Okay.
And I did that, and it's been going pretty well.
Okay. Shout out to Hood and Healing Podcast,
yes.
right? So how'd you come up with the name? Like, what was your inspiration for that?
So, I'm from the hood, and me and my best friend, we are so hood, but we are also healing.
Right.
Like we were talking about earlier, like working on the trauma, working on, you know, you can't blame your childhood, you can't blame where you're from.
Right.
You have to do the work.
Right.
You know, you have to create the growth.
Okay.
And so I was just going through different names, and it just felt right, you know, because that's us. We are hood as fuck.
Right.
But we work on healing every day.
Right. Talk about it.
Yeah, we work on healing every day, and sometimes we have to check each other. Like, you know, we'll be having a conversation, a motherly conversation, a very business-like conversation, and then it'll just be some hood shit out of nowhere, and we're like, see, that's that hood shit. So it's like,
that's
the hood shit. Like, all right, let's zone in and really get it together.
That's probably the funniest thing I've ever heard. That's true.
Yeah.
So it's hood, not ghetto.
Not ghetto.
Right.
Do you feel like hood and ghetto is different?
No, because people don't know the difference. That's what I'm asking you. People don't know. Like, you know, it's hood, but it's not ghetto.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so, not ghetto. It's not ratchet.
Right.
It's just a little, you know, a little hood, a little rough, a little edgy.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But,
so, shout out to Hood and Healing Podcast, by the way. Y'all make sure you go check that out on YouTube. So, and I would say that when I was watching it, right, you and your co-host, your chemistry is definitely to be admired.
Thank you.
I could tell it's like a true sisterhood there.
Right.
I can tell.
Thank you.
And most people, you know, when they see that, right, in public, on the internet, they think that it's scripted. They think that it's not real.
Right.
And for you to be doing it, you know, for the time that you've been doing it, and you guys still remaining friends, how does that dynamic work for you?
It's beautiful.
Okay.
Honestly, it's she's the emotional one. Like if you watch, Tap In, she's always crying. She's like, that's us in real life, And I feel like we balance each other out so well.
Right.
And it's just like we've been best friends since we were 8. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
just it's 20 plus years.
Shout out to 20 years.
Yeah, we really are best friends. She really is like a sister to me.
Uh-huh.
She is a sister to me.
Uh-huh.
And we just balance each other out, you know? So I feel like she's a little bit more nervous about us being out in the world and, opening up to people.
Right.
But I think she's getting the hang of it.
Okay.
I have to tell her, don't read the comments.
Oh, we gonna get to that.
Don't read the comments.
We gonna get to that. How you been doing that? So let me ask you this. You recently had some controversy in recent time. And we spoke about this a little bit off air. But for the people that don't know, when you said, quote me if I'm right, women are not getting married no more because it's not enough high value dudes.
Correct. That is correct.
Break that down for me?
I'm gonna stand on that.
Right, break that down for me. Go ahead.
I feel like most men, not all, but most men don't try anymore. Like they don't try to court. They don't try to have, an established lifestyle. They just kind of out here doing whatever, being however. And a lot of women are comfortable with that, and they settle, and they're okay with that. And I feel like that's why they don't try.
So
You disagree?
So you're saying that the dudes is out here running wild because the women let them?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So you're saying if women got on their jaw and said, men, don't do this.
No, I don't feel like it's necessarily like men don't do this. I feel like this is not what I'm allowed. This is not what I'm accepting. This is not what I want. I have a standard that you need to meet if you want to be in my life.
Right.
I feel like if that was, the attitude of the masses, most men wouldn't carry themselves the way that they do. They would feel like, okay, I gotta work for it. I can't just text a WYD and think that she's gonna respond or think that that's okay. I'm gonna try to actually court her. I'm gonna put some thought and some work into being with her.
So you're saying all these girls are just WYD girls?
Yeah. Not all of them. I'm not gonna say all of them because I do feel like there is a group of high value, real core value women. I do feel like there is. I know a lot of men don't feel like there are, but there's definitely a lot of high value women out there.
So what's a high value woman?
I feel a high value woman is someone that has morals.
Okay.
Someone that has standards.
Right.
A woman that respects herself on many different levels.
Okay.
A good mother.
Okay. If she has children.
If she has children.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like that's what makes you high value. Just you think highly of yourself and you carry yourself in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree?
No, I'm just asking questions. I think it's very interesting that you said that most of these girls is WYD girls.
I feel like, most of my single friends or people that are in my close circles, they will show me the text message. Like, look at this shit. Like, WYD, what do you think I'm doing? I'm working, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm, being productive. Like, why would I stop and respond to WYD? But majority of women,
they respond. And then they give them what they want.
And yes. What are you doing? Nothing.
Oh.
What are you doing? Nothing.
Oh, so then they go over to his house. And then they doing.
Sometimes they do.
They doing the grown up.
Sometimes they do.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just get the WYD and then a week later you get another WYD. And then you respond. And they just kind of keep you on standby. And I feel like if women just stop responding to that, it will be a better place.
So do you think most women deserve a high value dude?
I feel like women, yes. Most women do.
Why?
But because I feel like women are high value in itself.
Why? Now,
there's a difference between being a woman, an actual functioning woman, and just being born a girl. Like,
functional woman
yes.
is crazy. My gosh.
I feel like I'm blessed to know a lot of women in my life.
Okay.
But I have come across a lot of girls. Not defined by age, but defined by lifestyle.
So you're immature.
Yeah, immature. So I feel like if you're in the club every Saturday, I feel like if you don't have any type of goals or aspirations, you're not taking good care of your children, you're not really about anything, I don't feel like you're a woman, you know? I don't.
Okay, so being that we're on this topic, right, we talk about high value women and high value men. Do you think this 50-50 epidemic is necessary?
I don't even like having a 50-50 conversation because I just feel like it's redundant and it's just irrelevant at this point. I feel like if you have the mindset of, oh, I'm not going 50-50 with a man, or, oh, I'm going 50-50 with a man, you're not even in the right space to really date seriously. I feel like as an adult, you should know when you're getting into a partnership that sometimes things get difficult and it's okay to pick up where your partner lacks. Like, do I feel a man should provide? Yes, of course.
Okay.
But there's several different ways you can provide besides financially.
Okay, do you think that's one of the things that people, well, in society today put a lot of emphasis on because most people don't make a lot of money? Mm-hmm. Do you think why do you think that is though? Like, why do you think like that's the first go-to?
I feel like it's about lifestyle and status. I feel like people think you're high value if you have a lot of money. I feel like people think you can provide a better life if you have money.
Okay.
I know so many people that make 6 figures plus that are really unhappy people, that are in unhappy relationships. And I know a lot of people that don't have a lot of money that are in beautiful, long-lasting, healthy relationships.
Okay.
So, you know, I don't feel like finances should play that big of a part in a relationship.
It is important though.
It is important, of course.
Yes.
But it's not everything.
Right.
And I feel like nowadays everything is just about money.
Well, because most people don't have it.
Right.
If you talk to a hungry person about food, that's one thing they're gonna speak about, right? So you said that these women are immature. Mm-hmm. That's what I heard, right?
Right.
That's what I heard, that these women are immature. I didn't say it.
No, I was stealing that. A lot of women are immature. A lot of girls are immature.
Right.
To my point.
Uh-huh. So how do you think we begin to circumvent that? Do you think that that therapy is needed?
Therapy is healthy. I'm a big advocate for therapy. Therapy is definitely healthy, but you can also do the work within yourself. I feel like meditation, prayer, if you believe in that, depending on your beliefs.
Right.
I'm a woman of prayer. I like to pray. I like to meditate.
Right.
I like alone time. Solitude is so important, and I feel like a lot of people don't like to be alone, men and women. So how could you grow within yourself if you never spend time with yourself? You know?
Yeah, but nah.
Yeah, but not what?
How are they supposed to do the work within themselves when they don't even know who they are?
Well, that's how you find out who you are, by doing the work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll never know who you are until you spend some time with yourself.
True.
You know, because you'll be influenced by, if you're always around people, you'll get influenced by them. You pick up behaviors. It's just, you have to spend time by yourself.
Right.
To really understand yourself.
So do you think most people have an issue with being alone?
Of course. Definitely. And some people just don't have the time. Like, a single mother, it's hard to get a moment to yourself, you know? Somebody that is career driven, it's hard to get a moment to yourself. So I understand that it's difficult, but that's why I feel like it's important to do that work before going on certain ventures in life, before becoming a mother or a father, before focusing on a career. It's like, I feel like a lot of us do things backwards nowadays, you know? Myself included. Like, I had a kid as a teenager.
Okay.
Had I would have not done that and been, a little wiser with my decisions, I would have learned myself years early on.
It happens. Right. It happens. So what do you say to the women that say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what it's like? What do you say
That's
to that?
their prerogative.
What do you say to that?
I just say, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I say, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's okay. We can agree to disagree. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm going to stand on what I'm saying. I feel like I'm right.
So what I'm hearing is that a lot of the conditions that women are going through is because of their decisions.
Of course, not just women, men too.
Right.
People in general, like
Right.
decisions you make
Mhm.
affect your life,
Mhm.
and sometimes the people around you as well.
And do you think, like, so how do they begin to, like, you said, you did say, you know, spending time with yourself, right? But to a broken person, anything is a tool for them to fix, right? How do they begin to recognize what's necessary? Where do you think that begins? Because that's a different journey.
Right.
So
a
how do you
total
think?
different journey.
Right.
I feel like if you don't know that you have a problem, well, that's the biggest problem, first of all. If you don't know you have a problem,
Mhm.
that's the biggest issue. I think it's just identifying your happy place and your unhappy place.
Right.
Like, if you're really unhappy, if you're lonely, if you're depressed, if you're going through these motions, you have to wonder why.
Right.
But I feel like most people would rather blame others, you know, play the blame game. My childhood, my man, my girl, my this, my that.
My man.
And not really take the time to be like, well, what am I doing? Take accountability for their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to do that too for myself. Like,
Right.
I was really unhappy at a point in time.
Okay.
And I had to take the time to be like, well, why am I so miserable?
Okay.
You know, why am I being such a bitch? Hold on.
Right.
This is not who I am. This is not who I want to be. So what's going on?
I mean, you still mean though. You still mean. You still a little.
I don't think that I mean. I just feel like I'm honest. And I'm not one of those people that's like, well, I'm just blunt and this is just what it is.
I mean, that's what mean people say.
Right. So I don't feel like I mean. I think I try to deliver my message with love. But I'm still going to tell you the truth.
Of course, of
You
course. Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. Have you ever heard of the 20-point system theory? You ever heard of that?
No.
So this was something that was developed in recent years, and it determines how people view relationships, right? And they primarily did it with women, right? And they evaluated them, and they said, based off of the 20-point system, this is where you have to begin to change, right?
Okay.
So the 20-point system is equilibrium. It's not perfection. Equilibrium means you're in the proper state to achieve a healthy relationship, right? And
You're balanced.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is how they started to evaluate things, right? They did the benefits of women. They gave the points values as is. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you speak to a woman and she says, well, what do you rate yourself? I'm a 10. Give them 10 points. All the demerits, it's 2 points. So we'll go through the point system. We see if you agree or disagree, right?
Okay.
So this is how, and mind you, it was asking them, this is a system that evaluates of the men you want. This is how they evaluate you, right? So first things first was they said, do you have children? So women had children, so it's minus 2 points, right? So then they said, well, how do you view men? Well, I think that men should, bow to women because the future is feminine. Minus 2 points, right? And they asked them, they said, well, are you God-fearing? And the women said yes, and they minus 2 points.
Oh, wow.
You want to know why? Because you can't say the future is feminine and still say you're God-fearing. Because God said the hierarchy is
The man.
minus 2 points. So then they asked, well, do you go to therapy? How do you, begin to? No, I don't believe in that. Minus 2 points. They said, well, do you exercise? Do you go to the gym? When I have time, what does that mean?
Right.
Well, I go probably like once a month. Minus 2 points. So that's what, 10 points already? Corey, that's 10 points already, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
10 points already, right? So then they was asking, well, if you have a child, is it okay for the man that you want to be with to discipline your child? They said no. He said, okay, that's minus another 2 points. Because you want him to have all the responsibility of taking care of you and your child, but you don't give him the authority.
Right.
Responsibility, but authority equals slavery. It's minus another 2 points. So what we had, 12? Was that 12?
Yeah.
So then they asked them, they said, well, how do you feel about, high value man saying, you should, if he asks you, not to work, just cook and clean, because he wants you at home. How do you feel about that? Well, I'm going to work if I want to. Minus 2 points.
Mm.
It was minus 14 points already, right? Then they asked them, okay, well, where do you rank yourself? One woman said, I'm a 10. Another woman said, I'm an 8. Okay, we'll give you 10 points. Well, we'll give you 8 points. So what happened was they stopped it there and they said, okay, the one that's 10 gave you 10 points. It's a 10 points from a 14-point demerit.
Mm.
You're not even at equilibrium. This is how we begin to start evaluating our decisions. The other girls say, yeah, I'm an 8. You're 8 out of 20.
Mm.
That's not even a whole number.
Right.
Just think about it. This is very serious. It's not even a whole number, right? So these are the things that we begin to start to evaluate in our lives, and I think that a lot of women and men too, and we'll get to them in a minute. A lot of women don't understand how serious it is.
Right.
Because I'll say this: as a person who is successful, right? I'm not gonna tell you my salary out there because y'all should pay this. Somebody that's very successful, it's extremely difficult to make 6 figures, especially in today's time.
Right.
Extremely
Sure.
difficult, right? Wealth in the United States starts at $120,000 a year, right? That's 10K a month. So that's you're pretty much above average. You're above water.
Mm-hmm.
Most people won't make that in their lives,
Very true.
right? So the amount of people that make 6 figures is about 10%, right? Let's say we just limited to black men, right? Amount of black men that make 6 figures. Know the number?
I couldn't tell you.
8% of black men in the United States make 6 figures. Now I'm speaking about our people because we need the most help. So this goes to show you that, okay, well, only 8%? So 8% of what? What would you, Cory, how many black men is in America? What would you say?
A lot.
So
A lot.
Right.
8% of 100 is 8 people.
Yes.
8 black men out of 100 makes 6 figures or more. And these are the men that, women want,
Mhm.
right? These men that they want, these are men that they say, that's my man, my man, my man.
Right.
This is what they say. Do you think that they want women who don't work on themselves? Who don't go to the gym?
Right.
Who say, well, you know what, I don't feel like cooking today, so I'm not going to cook? Like, that's what they're going to say?
I think too, I feel like that 8% of men, right? And also something that was like really controversial the other day was a man pretty much saying that he's too good to date a single mother, right? And although I disagree with his delivery, I disagree with his delivery. 'Cause I don't feel like one should say, well, I'm too good for XYZ. I think what he should have said is, I don't have any children.
Right.
I want a woman that doesn't have children. And that's respectable. I feel like those 8% of men are very careful with who they have children with. They are very careful with their choices and decisions, career-wise, relationship-wise. And I feel like it's okay for them to have standards.
Right.
But I also feel like, these women that are after these men, they don't have the same mindset or the same morale as these men. So you want something that you can't give, and that's what I disagree with, because I'm sure there's an 8% of women for those 8% of men.
Well, it might be more because there's more women in the world than men in the world, right?
That's true.
The pool may be larger. But people watching this are gonna think you a pick me.
That's fine.
They gonna think you a pick me.
I'm at the point in my life, because I've done the work that we're talking about, and I really don't care what people think of me. And I know that might come across harsh or shallow, or however it comes across, that's fine. I'm really at peace with myself. Like, I really love myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my opinions and my thoughts are not to be a pick-me for men or a pick-me for women. It's just my thoughts and my opinions, how I feel.
Right.
How I've worked on myself to be realistic. You know what I mean? To just be real with what's going on.
You said realistic. They ain't gonna consider that as hate speech. That's
You
hate
think so?
speech. That's hate speech to people. They gonna say, how you realistic? Wait, hold on.
I feel like people that think that a person that is realistic is speaking hate speech is because they really just hate themselves. Like, you're mad because I'm saying what's real to me. Maybe you don't know what's real for you. You know?
Well, I will say, there is something that guys like to call a rebuttal.
What's the rebuttal?
This is my reality, right? This is what I believe. This is what I want. This is what I know, and that's pretty much used as a conversation ender, right? So the reason I'm bringing that up is because you mentioned that people need to do the work,
for sure,
and not be in denial,
for sure.
And then some people will say, oh yeah, well, I'm good. I haven't done anything. I don't do anything. Like, it's just these dudes. They all. I've never done anything in any of the relationships I've been in. It's always been them. Now,
How do you feel about that?
That's, you know what?
Hold on, as a woman, because, and I say this, right? Only women know the things women do. Only women know the things women are capable of, right? So what do you say as a woman to women that say that?
I feel like the kindest way I can just say is delusion. Like, you're delusional. If you feel like you have made no error in a failed relationship, you have to have some level of delusion.
Break that down. Break that down.
no, that's interesting because when a dude says that, it's like he's standing up for the patriarchy. It's like, oh man, he's not listening to me. He think he knows everything.
But
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
the reason why a lot of women, and myself included, have felt those emotions is because a lot of men, not all, but a lot of them, don't understand how to validate their women's feelings. We can disagree. Listen, we can disagree on whatever it is. I can be in the wrong, but that doesn't make my feelings any less valid. You know what I mean?
So how does he validate that?
I hear you, babe. I understand what you're saying. However, I feel this. A lot of men will say things like, "You're doing too much." You know, a lot of men will say.
But that's a fact.
No, but okay. I feel like that's unjust. It's not a fact because no one's feelings should be unvalidated. If I'm upset about something, no matter how big or how small, or even if I'm in the wrong, acknowledge the fact that I'm feeling what I'm feeling, and then we can move forward from there.
No, I don't. Wait, hold on.
So,
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to understand.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
Am I not making sense?
This is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You have the birthday party.
Okay.
Your man is there.
Okay.
Right? One of your exes pop up. You didn't invite him, and somehow he ended up there. Maybe he was a mutual friend.
Okay.
Know what I'm saying? Being disrespectful lady you are, you like, look, that's the ex, he's here, or maybe he knows of the dude, whatever. Nothing happens, that's the end of the story.
Okay.
He's saying, I feel like you set that up. I feel like you're still in love with him. I feel like you want to cheat on me.
At the goddamn party.
And you say, where's you getting all this from?
But that's not what I would say. I can't speak for the masses, but what I would say is, babe, I can see how it looks that way.
Cause that looked crazy.
That is, first of all, I would have asked him to leave. Excuse me, sir, what are you doing here? I don't know why you're here.
Oh, so you would have asked him to bounce?
My ex, for sure. My ex gotta go. What are you here for? Why are you here? What is the reason?
I like that response.
I mean,
but is his feelings validated? Because none of those things, you didn't do anything to encourage those feelings, and a lot of those feelings he did pull out of thin air or from other traumas that had nothing to do with you.
But it doesn't. This is the thing that I think people need to understand. It doesn't matter why your partner is feeling what they're feeling, whether it's past trauma, whether you caused it or not. They're still feeling those feelings, and if your partner is important to you, you should respect those feelings and help them understand. Like, I hear you, I see you.
You're good.
You know, like, your feelings are valid. What can I do to make it better moving forward?
Well, okay, hold on. I hear you. Okay, I don't want you to say I'm not valid. I hear you.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear you. I understand.
So it is true. You gotta respect their reality.
What I will say, you can put that again. What I will say is this: personal growth is not your responsibility.
Their personal growth, right?
It's not your responsibility.
No, of course not.
Right? So it's a personal journey that has to take place for them to understand. Why do I feel this way in these moments? Right? Now, do I, as a partner, it's up to you whether or not you want to support, because you're going to support your partner. Listen, I'm going to walk you through, of course, be together, of course, right? However, there comes a time where you're going to have to make a decision. Now, I'm all for the support. What I'm not for, though, is the recidivism in between. Oh, no, we ain't doing that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Because think about it, right? Let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say, you in the house, right? And let's say it's not even your boyfriend. Say one of your friends, right? You in the house. Your girls come over. Hey, what's up, girl? Boop, boop, boop. Y'all vibing out, chilling. Yo, I made some food, blah, blah, blah. You feed one friend before you feed the other friend. And then one of the friends go, yo, I just feel like you love them more than me because you fed them first. Don't that sound crazy? Don't that sound way out the...
Right, it does. It does. But my response is, to have a conversation about it. Like, okay, I'm not going to say, how you feel is stupid. That's dumb. Da-da-da. That's not going to be my response. My response is, okay, Stacey, well, why do you feel like that? What have I done aside from serving this plate before I served yours to make you feel that way?
That don't sound crazy to you?
It sounds crazy, but it's coming from somewhere. So where is it coming from? Like, I'm more solution-based. I don't like to focus on the problem. I like to focus on a solution. And I know a lot of people don't operate that way, and that's fine.
Right.
But for me, it's like, if we're legitimately having this conversation and you really feel like that, I want to understand why and how we can fix it. Now, if there is no fixing it, then I'm cool with that too. But I'm going to at least try,
I think I figured out the problem with your response.
Okay. Which response? The friend or the ex?
You know what I'm saying? Both of them.
Okay.
The problem with your response is that you're assuming that the other person is an adult. Sometimes, so what happened is you're assuming that your partner or your friend
is mature.
Has matured.
Right.
And has undergone that growth. Because they will respond appropriately. If you ask it, because sometimes you ask adult questions and you get silly answers. Which is, they start bringing up a whole bunch of stuff from the past.
That don't fucking matter.
Which may be on the line of lies. And you're like...
Wait, what? Hold on.
Sometimes people lie.
Right.
Yo, I remember when you did this to me and you did that to me. And you're like, yo, I remember all those situations and it did not play out like that.
But this is the thing. First of all, I'm never going to argue with the ignorant person. that's the number one. I've done the self-growth. I'm not going to argue with your ass. Like, why you feel like this? You want to give me some bullshit? I'm also emotionally intelligent. I can tell, okay, you feel that. Energy never lies. So you feeling the type of way, I know it's not about this specific situation. It's about something. My point is, can we fix it? Can we move forward? What is the solution? If there is none, that is fine. But I'm not going to waste my time and drive myself crazy trying to figure it out. But I do like to take accountability. All right, for example, I'll share a little bit of tea with y'all. Like, one of my friends, she feels like I never celebrate her birthday.
Why you ain't celebrate her birthday?
I feel like I have.
See,
you know what I mean? But listen, I feel like I have. But she feels like for everybody else, I go all out, confetti, the whole nine. And for her, it's not that, So I had to reevaluate myself. Like, is that true? And I feel like I have celebrated her, but not the way she wanted to be celebrated. So it was both of us. On my end, I didn't take the time to realize what she needed or what she wanted from me. And that was my bad. And that's something I'm working on. And on her end, she didn't also communicate that. So I didn't really know either. So, you know, on her end, she needed to communicate more, and on my end, I needed to pay more attention.
So who was more accountable, you or her?
I feel like we shared, you know, equal accountability, and also, you know, we're both to blame. You know what I mean? And it's just like, can we move forward? If I go all out next year and throw this big ass party, are you gonna feel validated? Are your feelings gonna feel validated, or are you still gonna feel like, well, those other 5 years we were friends, you didn't do it? If that's the case, I'm not gonna waste my time. You know?
Wait, I mean, but you ain't celebrate her birthday. Why you do that though? You ain't,
But
nah, see, that's crazy. Wow,
You know
that's
what it
great.
is? No, you know what it is too? With that specific friend, we are very different and we like different things. So I didn't really take the time out to be like, what would she want me to do versus, oh, I think that this is good, let me do this for her. You know? So that was on me. You know, that was on me. I should have been a better friend in that way. But I also like to have open and honest communications in my friendships and relationships. I feel like it could have been resolved years ago if she would have just been like, well, I want to do this for my birthday. Like, can we do this? Or why haven't you done this for me? And I would have did it, you know? So.
But you didn't.
I didn't. And I take full accountability for not doing that.
Yeah.
What is that?
So let me ask you this. I've recently heard this. I think it was on Club Shay Shay, I believe. Shout out to Club Shay Shay, by the way.
Wait, hold on. Before we move forward, I don't even know if you're responsible for that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm serious. Isn't your man responsible for that?
For what?
Your birthday party.
No, this is a friend. This is not my man.
No, that's what I mean. Her man.
Oh, she ain't got a man, so.
I know, and that brings us back to the whole.
Oh, why you doing like that?
No,
That's crazy.
she doesn't have a man. Like,
And it's also true that people get judged differently according to their circumstances.
Yeah.
Somebody who has a mate, somebody who has kids, get judged differently than somebody who's single.
Right. She doesn't have kids, and she's not in a relationship.
Yeah. So if I had a friend,
yeah,
and he had a lady, and he had a kid, I expect his time to be taken up more, and I expect his money to be more tight. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't expect him to be pulling up on me as often.
Right.
Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because they got different expectations.
For sure.
Also, my birthday isn't any of my friends' responsibility.
Right.
It is a gift. You can't demand gifts, except from your mate.
Right. But to her point, in her defense, because I like to be a fair person, right? If I can do this for other friends, why can't I do it for her?
Well, who is her to? I mean, I grew up with a bunch of brothers.
Like,
I grew up with a bunch of brothers.
Okay.
When it was his birthday, he got gifts, and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't demand to my parents, how come he get gifts and I didn't?
Right.
You know, when they did something, I can't judge. I can't watch their pockets.
Right.
Look, however you treat him, you treat him. However you treat me, you treat me.
Yep.
Right.
Now I'm saying, just because it's different doesn't mean it's not equal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And every relationship is different. It's also true that every person in your life you have a different relationship with.
Definitely.
And it's not you being fake. It's just that they all got different personalities, and how your personality mesh with theirs is different.
Very true.
So some friends, yes, what we do is we play games all the time. Mm-hmm. Cool. With another friend, what we do is we go out and party all the time. Right. Cool. With another friend, we'll do none of those things, but we on the phone all the time. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When a friend who I play games with all the time says, how come we don't always go to the club? Because you're not the club friend.
Right.
I'm not putting you in a box. That's just not how we mesh.
Right. No, for sure. But I do feel like, at least for me, and a part of my personal growth is, like I said, validating others' feelings, and also just putting myself in their shoes. You know what I mean? So although that is not the friend that, you know, we don't enjoy doing the same things at all. You know, even though I'm not a party girl. I don't like to go out. I don't like to go to the club. So with my close friends, we have an intimate birthday party in the house, you know, or we go out for dinner, or we do things. this friend likes to go out to the club, so the party that she would like me to throw for her would be in a club. That's just not what I do. But I also understand that every friendship requires something different of you. So if she's requiring me or needs me to show up for her more on her birthday, if that's gonna make her, you know, understand and show her how much I care for her, then I'm willing to do that. I'm not gonna say, well, fuck you and how you feel. I don't care about your birthday. Like, that's just not where I am in life. It's more like, I understand how you feel that way. Even though I don't agree, I'm gonna do better as a friend.
So why do girls go on vacation and they don't be friends after that?
I don't know. Like I said, my friends, we all still friends. So
They gonna look at this like, hold on, why she's so perfect? You know what I mean?
I know. I'm really a hot ass mess, but when it comes to like friendships and relationships, I've been blessed in that department. Like, me and my friends, we've been friends 20 years plus. I think the most recent friendship is of like 12 years. So I don't have those issues, so I can't really speak on that.
So what you're saying is there's no real sisterhood. That's what I heard.
I mean, I don't know.
Corey,
It's not my experience.
That's what I heard.
I'm just saying that's not my experience.
I heard her say it's no real sisterhood out here. That's what I heard.
There is a real sisterhood?
There isn't.
There isn't a real sisterhood.
I'm not saying that because I have a real sisterhood. I have been blessed in the friendship department, so I can't speak to that, but I will say this. When I speak to like my nieces and my little cousins and I hear the reasons why they fall out with their friends, I'm like, what? Like, it's just, I don't understand. I don't know. I haven't had those type of experiences, so I don't know why they go on vacation and come back not friends. Me and my friends, we come back tired. Like, we had a good time.
Oh, so
like,
so what you're saying is that most of these women out here don't know what the hell they're doing. This is what I'm hearing.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay.
I really don't understand why they don't come back friends. I really, but you know what? I have seen like on TikTok and like Instagram these little like short stories. And I will say, with the collective, it's mostly because there's a broke friend most of the time.
I was going to say
most
that.
of the story times are like, this girl came with no money. But that speaks a test to your friendship, because if one of us is broke, we gonna let girl, I ain't got it. I know we booked and we ready, but I ain't got it. I might have to stay. And then we all like, nah, you're not staying, sis. We gonna put these ends together and we got you. Or if we ain't got it, we gonna be like, yeah, girl, you gonna have to stay. You're gonna have to sit this one out.
Them girls ain't doing that. They not putting their money together for the friend that ain't got no money.
I mean, that's why their friendships is probably not lasting.
So what you saying is because they don't want to take care of the one that don't got no money?
What I'm saying,
why they being so evil?
No, the one that didn't communicate that she was broke is wrong. I feel like if you know you the broke friend, you gotta say you the broke friend.
Nah, y'all know she was broke. Y'all knew her your whole life.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when she ain't just broke the day before. Nah, y'all knew she been broke. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
I mean, and if that's the case, if that's the case, if you know your broke friend is coming, y'all got put a little bit of extra chips aside for the broke friend. Cause honestly, y'all friends for a reason, right? So she adds something to the group, whether it's laughter, whether she's the turn up friend, whether she's the more, personable friend, whether she's the planner. Like, funds isn't everything, and I hate that all conversations revolve around finances. Like, I've been the broke friend, I got broke friends, like, and we still be having a ball.
You got broke friends?
Yeah.
You know they gonna see this, right? You can
it's
tell
right.
them.
Y'all know who y'all are.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And y'all know I be broke sometimes too.
Look,
and I be like, sis,
they gonna be
I ain't got it for brunch.
Why she putting my business out in the street like that? You know what
my
I'm saying?
friends are not like that.
You
like,
understand?
My friends are the friends that'll be like, I'm the broke friend, hey. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are very organic and we just ourselves. And I think that's a big issue too. Sometimes these people that you think are your friends, you don't even really know them for real. Like, they're not even being themselves with you. They have this mask, this facade. Like, the same way I talk to y'all, this is how I talk to my friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the persona.
It's unnecessary because everything comes out to the light. Everything you do, everything you say, everything that you are.
Does it really?
Yeah, for sure. This is the 2024. Everybody get exposed. Diddy, freaking everybody.
Well,
like.
Well,
This is the year.
Well, I believe in God. That's what I'm gonna say. You know, I believe in this camera right here.
I just want to mention, of all the times, this is the first time Diddy's name has been mentioned.
I was about to say that. With that being said,
he's a hot topic right now.
I mean, which brings us to our next topic. You did see that video, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the part where she hit him? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm not. I didn't mean to start nothing. I'm just saying. I don't know if we saw the other part.
They definitely should have been a part.
I don't know if we saw that part. I don't know if we saw that part, but no, that does speak to something else because domestic violence is definitely a thing.
For sure.
Which brings me to my next topic, and I'm about to ask you: is cheating the worst thing you could do to a woman in a relationship?
Is cheating the worst thing you can do? I'm not gonna say it's the worst thing you can do, but I will say it's pretty bad.
Is it top 5?
Yes. Top 3.
Cheating is top 3?
I would definitely top 3.
Wow.
I would definitely say cheating is in the top 3 because it's
Corey,
not
this is the
about,
first time we heard this.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I feel like it's not about the other person, and it's not necessarily what you did or how you did it. It's just the fact that you did it. You betrayed me, and I think it's just because loyalty it means a lot to me. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like once you're disloyal, I could never trust you. And if I do decide to give you an opportunity to gain my trust, you're gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have to sweat, bleed, and cry.
Sweat, bleed, and cry.
Sweat, bleed, and cry.
But bleed though? Why he gotta bleed though?
You gotta bleed.
Man, he gotta bleed? All that? That's crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna say this. I don't think cheating is top 5.
You don't?
No.
What's your top 5?
Well, no, it ain't for me. I'm just saying. I don't think it's the top 5 worst things you could do to a woman in a relationship.
Okay.
I'll give you the first one. It's domestic violence. 100%. I think a man putting his hands on a woman because he can is crazy.
Right. Or a woman putting their hands on a man.
Yeah, well, that shit ain't gonna happen.
It happens. It happens.
It just,
It happens more often than not, and I feel like
it does.
That doesn't really, cause I don't.
Wait, hold on. Oh, so you did that before?
You know what? In my immature days, I would get upset, and yes, sometimes I would be physical.
Corey, call 911.
Listen, I will admit to that, and I think that it's so wrong. I definitely teach my son, if somebody puts their hands on you, woman, man, child, you walk away if you can, and if you can't, you whip ass. That's just where I'm at with it.
My mother ain't teach me that.
That's just, listen, must be a new day and age mama, but
she ain't teach me.
I've seen women literally beat down men in the street.
Try it. Try it.
Some men, first of all, some men like it. I'm not even gonna hold you. Some men.
Yeah, hold on.
Some men like it.
Neo made a song about that when you put your hands on me. You know, we gotta think like this. Because you started something and you did this, okay? You when you put your hands on me.
It's a real thing.
I wanna kiss you.
It's
what?
I don't think he meant it in that way.
No, he meant it that way. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
I don't know if he meant it in that way.
He did. He wanted the girl to put the hands on her. That's crazy.
It definitely happens, but domestic violence is definitely number 1.
Yeah, domestic violence is number 1. Number 2, I think, is verbal abuse. A man that's verbally abusive is not psychologically healthy at all.
Right.
Number 3, sexual abuse. If a man says, "Oh yeah, my wife don't never tell me no," hold on.
Yeah.
That's sound kind of crazy.
Right.
All right. Number 4, you may not agree, but it is what it is. If he's a bitch.
Okay.
For real, like you get away with everything. Like you don't have no backbone. Like you come home and it's like, "Yo, so what you want to do, babe? Whatever you want to do, I don't know." You don't know.
Right.
And number 5, you might disagree still, but it is what it is. If he's broke.
I disagree. I agree with all of those. I feel like those are not in my top 5 or 3 because those are also in my non-negotiables. So I wouldn't be with a man that's abusive. I wouldn't, you know. And most women I surround myself with wouldn't either. Like.
Well, but the thing is, people don't even consider that as a possibility, right? Like they don't consider like domestic violence as a possibility for you.
I feel like that's also because they don't know the warning signs. Like you can always, I can just look at a man and know if he's abusive.
Really?
Literally.
Oh wow.
Like whether he's nice and bubbly, whether he's hard and like, you know, I could tell you a bitch. Beating ass, and I see it. I know it.
You got the radar.
A BBAN. A BBAN.
Listen, I can see it. Like you can just tell by like energy never lies, their demeanor, or you can see like just by how the woman reacts around him. You know, like energy never lies. Like, yeah, he's definitely whipping her ass when they get home.
What? You gotta put that business out in the street.
I'm just saying, it's like that. And vice versa too. Like let's not only hold the men accountable. Women be beating men too.
Like I said,
she give him that look. He already know. Like put his hand right down. She about to go off. But like I said, I think that there's a lot of men that find that super attractive. And like, oh yeah, she's dominating me, or she don't play about me, or like I've come across that a lot. Like relationships where the woman is more aggressive than the man.
That's a problem. You don't think that's an issue?
Of course.
Do you think women should be the... No, they should never be the aggressive in a relationship. Of course not.
I don't feel like anyone in a relationship should be aggressive. You know?
Okay, so define that. Like, break that down for me.
Okay, so I feel like love is like gentle and kind. I feel like when you love someone, like the way that I speak to my man is like...
Yeah, they really gonna hate you.
The way that I speak to her is very like soft and passive and feminine. I live in my feminine energy around my man.
Okay.
And I feel like that's how it should be, you know, but that's not the situation, you know, for a lot of people. And that's okay too. I'm not judging, but just me and my...
No, you are judging. Yes,
no,
you is.
I'm not judging.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
really not.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I just feel like women should live in their feminine energy and men should live in their masculine energy. That's just how I feel. But if you don't feel that way, I respect it too. You know, I've seen relationships where the woman is more dominant, you know, and more assertive, and that's okay if that's what works for you. But for me, I want to be soft. I don't want to be hard all the time. Now, are there my moments where I'm pissed off and I'm aggressive? Of course. But
yeah, because you just said you used to put your hands on men.
I used to be aggressive and definitely loose-handed. But like I said, you have to do the work. You have to grow.
Okay.
That person I was 12 years ago, 10 years ago, that's not who I am now. And I feel like, you know, I'm proud of myself. I have done a lot of work. And if I do have moments where I am super upset and I do have to walk away. I do have to say, okay, let me zone in again. Let me get back into my zen because I'm about to go off.
Yeah, because, you know, when he say, you know, I hear you, but you don't hear that, that's triggering for you, right?
No, I like when my man says, I hear you. I understand.
No, I'm saying when he don't say that, it's...
Well, yeah, when he says stuff like, oh, you doing too much? Yeah, I got to take a walk.
Wait, why you got to take a walk?
Because I feel like you're not validating the way that I feel.
So, okay, we need to go back to this. How does he validate that? Like, is he supposed to agree?
No, he doesn't have to agree, but I need to feel like you even want to or care to understand my point of view. Because perception is reality. So I need you to understand how I'm perceiving this situation so we can make adjustments and move forward.
What do you mean we or you make adjustments? Because you're the one that feel that way.
So you don't feel like the other party should do any work or any type of...
I'm just asking a question.
No, I feel like it's both parties. I feel like in a partnership, everything should be, you know, equal.
It's never equal.
You don't think so?
No.
What do you feel like is not equal?
Because somebody always likes somebody more. Somebody always likes somebody more.
But I do feel like in relationships that changes. Somebody might like somebody more in the beginning, and then a little later on, the other person likes the other person more. I feel like that changes.
Yeah, it's never equal though.
Yeah.
We can't say, oh yeah, well we love each other equally. No, that's definitely not the fact. That's not the case. It's not the case. It's never
I
the case.
disagree.
Never the case.
I feel like you can be in a healthy relationship where you both are into each other equally. And there may be times where I'm into you a little bit less or you're into me a little bit less, but for the majority of the time, we should be into each other equally. You don't feel like that's a realistic?
It's not realistic.
Can I bring it back? Because
Okay.
equally is a very strong
I was about to say that.
and tricky word, right? So I gotta bring it back.
Equally.
The friend who won the birthday.
Okay.
Did equality have anything to do with that situation?
No.
What do you mean? As
Where-
far as what?
In terms of, she was like, yo, I feel like where is the equality fitting into that? In terms of, yo, I feel like you're not really showing out for me.
Right, I feel like, to her point, she didn't feel like I was treating her equally to my other friends. Because for my other friends, I throw parties. You know what I mean? I throw get-togethers, I'll throw a surprise party. I've never done that for her prior to that conversation. But that's only because I don't enjoy being in the club. And that's what she enjoys. So...
Oh, so you're saying you did that on purpose? You ain't want to throw no party? That's crazy.
For me,
Throw a party for me.
No,
Alright? You know what I'm saying? I want the biggest party.
In my head, I'm like, I'm not going to throw her a party because she's not going to enjoy it. Because it's not going to be in the club.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, she wants to be in the club on her birthday.
So,
you know?
in friendships and relationships, it should be equal. But when it comes to like other relationships, like between siblings or a mother and a kid, or a father and a kid, equality doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but I feel like your child is not your equal. Like, you are a child. I'm here to shape you, to mold you, to provide for you. You are not my equal. You are a child. Now, do you love me? I would hope so. Do I love you? Of course.
I would hope so.
You know?
I would hope so.
I would hope so. But, you know, you're not my equal. Now, my partner, you are my equal. My friend, you are my equal. You know what I mean? My child, you're not my equal. You're a child. But not saying that children shouldn't be heard or understood or their feelings shouldn't be validated. That's not what I'm saying. But I can't expect my son or my daughter to love me or to do things for me that I do for them. It's just not possible.
But people, no person is better than another person. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, of course not. I agree.
But it doesn't mean that they're equal. Not at least in the same capacity. One person might have more money. That's the obvious thing. But people, I think that's not a really good example. One person might have more love to give than another person.
That's a fact.
So
Right.
the equality, so that person, if they decide to be with that other person, they have to give more love.
I think
And
that...
they can't receive the same in return. But I don't think the person who's giving a lot of love is asking for that same capacity back.
Okay, so there's several different levels to what you just said, right? The first thing is we have to understand, especially in partnerships, that people can only love you to their full capacity. So, like you said, the way that I love and the way that someone else loves, you might not be at the capacity to love me the way that I love you. But you will do other things that make up for that.
Like what?
All right, for example, in my relationship, right? I'm very like thoughtful. You know, I'm an overthinker, so I think about every detail. My man is not like that, but he makes up for it in other ways, in senses of like, all right, for example, let's say I see something that I know he would like, I would pick it up for him. You know, I'll think about him. I'll be like, okay, he would like that, this and that, whatever. And to his capacity, he won't do something like that. I'll have to tell him like, babe, I want this, and then he'll go get it for me.
Right.
But he makes up for it in other ways. Like, I don't have to tell him how I'm feeling. You know, he's very like, he picks up my vibe. So if I'm in a bad mood, he'll just understand that I'm in a bad mood and do something to lighten my mood.
I mean, that's not fair. Everybody ain't got a Professor Xavier out here.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that this is how we kind of balance each other and how I feel like it's equal.
Right.
So in the sense of if he's in a bad mood, I won't know. Like he would have to tell me like, oh, I'm tight or whatever, da da da. I won't know that, but he would know if I'm in a bad mood. But if I like something and I want something, he won't think to be like, oh, let me go get that for her. But that's something that I would do. So although we love each other in different ways, I feel like the love is equal, if that makes sense.
You see, that's now, I got a different perception of that.
Okay.
Right? You say equal, I feel like balance. And I think it's a big difference between equal and balance.
Okay, what's the difference?
The difference is that, what's being put on the scale to balance things out. If we're putting two different things to balance the scale out, it's not necessarily equal, it's just balance. For example, on one side of the scale might be rocks and on the other side is gold. Mm-hmm. But if it's balance, it's balance. Nobody's complaining. You get me?
But it's not both gold or both rocks.
Exactly. Or one might have more gold, one might have more rocks. For example, you might have a relationship where it's perfectly balanced, but somebody's walking with heavy trauma and the other person is extremely patient. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily fair for the person who's being patient.
No.
But it's balanced. Because
my question would be is, are you okay with being balanced but unequal?
And you know what? I think that's what I'm getting at. Yes, because that's reality.
That is.
Mm-hmm. So yes, and I think the whole equal thing throws everybody off.
Okay. Oh, I can only speak for myself. I feel like I'm in a space now in my life where I'm okay with balance and inequality. Like, I understand that you can't love me how I love you. I understand that I can sit down and kind of dissect your feelings and your thoughts and kind of get to the root of it to come up with a solution. And that's something you might not be capable of doing. So I feel like it's just what you're okay with. And for me, I'm okay with balance. I don't want to feel like I'm doing the most and you're doing nothing at all. But if I see that you're doing the best to your capacity, I'm okay with that. Because I'm going to always give you my best. I'm going to give you my 100. Give me your 100. And even if it doesn't look equal, I'm okay if it's balanced. Because everybody's in a different space in their journey. Whether it be romance, friendships, work relationships, like...
Right. Everybody's not at the same place.
Exactly. And I feel like I'm okay with that, but most people aren't. It's like, oh, if I went out and I bought you the shirt you wanted, why you couldn't go out and buy me the dress I wanted? It's like, that's not important to me.
Yeah, I'm saying? Especially you got the wrong size. Like, how you know what I'm saying? How you...
But those things aren't important to me. You know what I mean? I feel like if I went out and bought you something, but I come home and I'm in a bad mood after a long day, and you could rub my feet, put my show on, and have a good conversation and kind of get me out of that mood, that means more to me than the dress.
Yeah, well, hold on now.
No, you disagree?
Hold on. That dress, Gucci, Louis Prada. You don't come home with that dress, it's a fight. You might put your hands on it.
Oh my God.
Alright, so two things, right? So the reason I agree with you, and I feel like the thing that balance gives you that equality don't give you is peace.
Yes.
I feel like when you're okay with balance, then y'all can both start working towards peace, being each other's peace. So in that sense, what can equality can never equal up to peace. Peace is priceless.
Correct.
Equality is like keeping a point system.
Yes.
All right, no, it's getting a little unbalanced. We gotta balance this up. Look, you owe me.
No, for sure.
You owe me this and you owe me that, right? So, with that said, right? You said there's some non-negotiables, right? And we do have a thing with, I think you're talking about understanding, being an adult and understanding, and being able to be compassionate with other people. The question is, if you was to get with a dude, or if a dude was to get with a lady, are they also obligated to take on that person's trauma? And to what extent is it okay for them to say, I don't want to deal with that trauma?
There's so many different levels to that. So
what I need.
There's some people, for example, and I know people don't like talking about it, but a lot of people have, and it's pretty common, have been touched before. So, and it's probably politically incorrect for a dude to be like, I don't want to be with her because she's been touched before as a kid and she's walking with that trauma. I don't think the dude problem would be the fact that it happened to her. I think the problem would be that when he tried to make advances to her, she says something like, it feels disgusting because it reminds me of that time. And it makes him feel uncomfortable. So at what point should he not have to deal, or to what point should she not have to deal with that trauma? Because there's also dudes who have rejection problems, you know, and they be trying to jump through windows and such. And she's like, you know what? I don't know what if mommy didn't give you enough hugs or what when you was younger, but this is not okay. Right. To what point is it okay? At what point do you say, I'm not with it? Like, this trauma, I want to be with you, but I don't want to be with your trauma.
Break it down. This is good. I like this.
I think that, first and foremost, it's important to be upfront, to be honest, to be transparent with someone that you are taking serious, right? You're dating someone, things are getting a little bit more serious. I'm a firm believer of laying it on the table. This is what I got going on, what you got going on.
Real raw and uncut.
This is what it is. Now, if this is something that you're able to deal with, or you feel like you're able to deal with it, and I'm able to deal with your stuff, let's get it. Let's work on it. You can at any point in our relationship say, I cannot do this. This is too much for me. And I think that that's fair. I think what's unfair, and I feel like a lot of people do this, is just kind of play the role and kind of go along with it, knowing that this is not what you want, knowing that it's too heavy for you. You continue to carry it until there's like some huge explosion. Versus you can just be upfront and honest and say, babe, I love you, I'm gonna be with you, but you need to get the help you need if this is something that you wanna continue. And if not, I can't do this anymore. And I think that that's okay at any point in the relationship. The issue is people are not being honest up front, and the issue is people are not being honest when they're feeling those things. So, to answer you at any point, you can decide to say, I can't do this shit no more. And that's okay, no?
It's doing too much. That's what you're saying, it's doing too much.
You're doing too much.
Right.
Too little bit, really, because that's usually the issue. You're not getting the help you need. You're not hearing me and validating the way that I feel. And I feel like I do feel.
At the edge, put it at the edge of the table, like this.
Okay.
Back at the edge.
Like this? Sorry. Oh, yeah. I do feel like I'm a hopeless romantic, so I feel like love is unconditional. Even though in reality we all have our conditions, we all have our standards.
I was just about to say
it's a double-edged sword. Listen, but I do feel like, you know, if someone has like heavy trauma or baggage or whatever, it's not your responsibility to fix it, but I do feel like you're somewhat responsible of making them aware of it if they aren't. You know, and I feel like a lot of people don't do that. They kind of just like, she crazy as hell, or he got issues, or whatever, and not really talking to their partner like, you know, what's going on, babe? Like, I notice when I touch you, you cringe. Like, what's that about? You know? So, have those conversations.
So those conversations aren't being had to fix these problems.
Or to even acknowledge that there's a problem to begin with.
Right.
You know?
How do you, well, we did say therapy, right?
Therapy, meditation, prayer.
I mean, but what do you say to the people that say, you know, our people will rather run to the church than run to a clinically, a clinical psychiatrist?
Oh, that's, you know, I always say politics and religion. I should stay away from it. You know, everybody gotta live their life. Everybody gotta live their life. You know, because I feel like that's so touchy. Listen, I believe in God. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe in church. I'm all for that.
Right.
You know, and I don't believe there's anything that God can't fix within you if you seek His healing.
Okay.
I also feel like therapy is healthy.
Okay.
I also feel like some people are gifted. You know, people go to school for this. Some people are put here to get you through these situations. We have therapists for a reason. You know, and I feel like therapy is so healthy. And I feel like it has this, you know, stigma, or, you know what I'm saying, attached to it that's just ridiculous. if we all got some therapy, you know how happy people would be?
You know how, I mean, people wouldn't hit people.
That's true too. That's true too.
You know, I mean, you know.
That is very true.
I mean, because, you know, Tina probably would have listened to Ike. And, you know, it wouldn't
Jesus.
I'm just you know, my bad. Too soon?
You gone too far.
My bad. No, I do agree with that though. I agree that people, we do run from that. I don't know why, but we do. And I do think that's something that, and it's not easy. I will say that.
Yeah.
You know, to people's defense, it's not easy just to, you know, walk that path and just walk down that road like that because, because, you know, people have things buried within them that they do not want to get out. And you see it a lot with people because they're so guarded, you know, when it comes to things like that.
A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that they have a problem. And I was one of those people for a long time. Like, it's not me, like, it's everybody else. Until you find yourself unhappy and miserable and you're like, okay, maybe it is me.
Till you find yourself by yourself?
Right. Or not even by yourself, because, you know, loneliness, depression, all that stuff, you could be surrounded by a bunch of people and still feel lonely. You know?
True. Very true.
So, I was lonely around a bunch of people. And I'm just like, hold on, why am I miserable? Why am I unhappy? Let me fix this. I want to fix this. I want to feel better.
Right.
So.
Until you realized it and then you did the work.
Yeah.
Right.
But therapy is healthy. And for those people, to your point, that like run to the church and think it's like an easy fix, it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a wound. It's like going to church is going to make you feel better, right? Because the energy there, hopefully if you're going to the right church, it's going to be great energy.
Oh, wait. Hold on. You said going to the right church. What that mean?
I mean, if you're going to a church that's, I don't want to get super religious on here, but if you're going to a church that's like filled with the presence of God,
right, you're
going to feel that energy, the vibration, right? If the people there are vibrating at that high frequency, you know, you're going to feel that. You're going to be filled with that, and you're going to feel better leaving. However, if you're going to a church that just wants some money, or, you know what I mean, or...
Oh, so you're saying a lot of these churches is filled with the presence of the devil?
I'm not going to say a lot of them, but there are some that are not doing the work of God and are just buildings, you know. So I wouldn't suggest running to a building, especially if you don't know nothing about the church, to try to feel better. You know, you still have to go home and pray. You still have to meditate. You still have to seek therapy if it's that severe of an issue that you can't fix by yourself.
So do you think that you know, people who don't come from healthy situations to seek therapy?
I don't think that therapy is always needed.
Okay.
I don't feel like every circumstance, every situation, therapy is needed. There are a lot of issues I fixed within myself without therapy, and there are some more severe issues that I needed therapy for.
Okay.
But it's not a one size fits all thing. It's not like
no.
You know, you from the hood, you gotta go to therapy. I don't feel that way.
Right.
I feel like if you know, there's certain things you can fix on your own, and if you're struggling with that, get some professional help.
Okay, so let's switch gears for a second. You know, speaking of professionals, the talk show host of Hot Ones. You ever seen Hot Ones on Hulu?
I don't believe I have.
Hot Ones is like the show where people eat wings, celebrity eat wings, answer questions and stuff like that. The host of Hot Ones, he broke up with his girlfriend because she went public on Instagram about their relationship. How do you feel about that? Why'd you laugh though?
About what? All right, about what part? About her going public, or about him leaving her because she went public?
Well, no, she went public. She said, "Hey, you know, I'm in a relationship with so and so," and he said, "Oh yeah, it's over."
I mean.
Oh yeah, you got an opinion about this? Yeah, I was waiting. I was itching. Yeah.
I feel like I don't know who they are.
But just in the realm of.
I feel like that is very much so circus activity. Like, what type of clown situation is that? Why are you with the man that doesn't want to claim you?
Hold on.
And then on the other end,
wait, hold on.
Why are you with the woman you don't want to claim?
He got to claim. So if he don't broadcast it on social media, he not claiming her?
I don't feel like it needs to be broadcasted, but I feel like if you're upset that she's letting people know that you're together, that's a problem.
Why
are you with that person?
Why is that a problem?
Why is what a problem?
So if he says, yo, we together, but I don't want to put it on social media, that's a red flag?
Yeah, for sure.
Why? Break it down for me.
Okay, what could be the possible reason you don't want people to know that?
Well, because I'll say this, right? The less people know about what you got going on, the longer it will last. Do you agree?
I disagree.
Break it down for me.
I disagree. I feel like the relationship has to be solid.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If you have a solid relationship and a solid situation, there should be nothing that can come between that.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's public, it doesn't matter if it's private. I'm not the type of person to have everybody in my business.
Right.
But at the end of my number one question on my social media is, are you single? 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 And it's just like, it's just so redundant. You know how many times I have to be like, I have a man, I'm in a relationship, I have a man, I'm in a relationship, Now, that's all you need to know. You know what I mean? It's not like I won't post my man or I haven't posted my man. It's not like it's a big secret. But you don't need to know the details of my relationship. Just know that I'm in one. And this is the person I'm in it with.
Wait, hold on. Can I acknowledge the elephant in the room in his defense?
Okay.
In his defense, she's a porn star.
Well, you left that part out. Like, you left that part out. But also, why are you with someone that you're ashamed of?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, when we reach the level, when I'm comfortable with that, then that's when we'll blast it. But until then, stop acting like you don't know what it is, shorty. Like, you're a porn star, and I haven't completely decided to claim you yet.
You decided to claim me?
No, I haven't decided.
No, but this is the thing. Once we have that conversation, porn star or not, once we have the conversation of, I'm your girl, you're my man, you are claiming me, we are together. So who I choose to tell that to is who I choose to tell that to. And for you to leave me, you should have never been here in the first place.
So he was wrong for doing that?
I feel like, yeah, for sure. I feel like, first of all, like I said, it's on both ends. You have to acknowledge the fact that he shouldn't be with someone he's ashamed of being with.
Right.
And she shouldn't be with someone who's ashamed to be with her.
I don't know. I think
think
in his situation, he might have just been dating her. Right? And he's like, you know what? I'm starting to take you serious, but I still got some cold feet. Give me some time to get it in there. And she did the move, and he probably felt bullied. Not saying that she bullied him, but that's how he probably felt. And yes, the fact that she's a porn star do change her situation from another lady.
I disagrry. I feel like when a man decides to court you, to date you, to fuck you, like don't be embarrassed. Like, if this is what you're doing, stand on that. I can't stand a man that will sleep with a woman or be dealing with a woman or date with to whatever capacity you're involved with this woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you want it to be a secret and you're ashamed. You shouldn't do anything in life, yet alone be intimate with someone that you're ashamed of.
Wait, hold on. They made a song about that, You're My Little Secret. That's how we should keep it. They was wrong?
Listen, I want to be nobody's
Escape was wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. His feelings gotta be, and vice versa, her feelings, because ladies do it as well. I think the thing is, the reason they don't want it to be out is because they don't want that to block the other blessings. Do that make sense? There are other opportunities. What they're saying is, look, yes, we're having fun, but I haven't made that full commitment. If you want to end the fun, we can end the fun, but don't go around telling people that's what it is, and then people start thinking I'm claimed, and I'm not.
Well, I think that's a total different situation. The way that he brought the situation, right? The circumstances was they were together. She said, "Hey, we're together" on social media, and he broke up with her.
So yeah, because we're exclusive, but we don't blast our stuff on social media.
I don't know. That's not what, like, it's different if she is okay with that. Clearly she's not because she blasted it. But if it was a conversation like, listen, this is what we got going on, don't say nothing, I still feel like you shouldn't be with someone like that. But
why?
But live your life.
Why though?
You shouldn't do anything or be with anyone that you're embarrassed of.
What if it's not an
Especially in
embarrassment?
today's society.
What if it's not an embarrassment? What if
Everything
it's
is on camera. Like, what are you talking about?
She said everything.
Literally everything is on camera.
Pun intended. Yeah.
You go out to eat, you on camera. You cross the street, you on camera. You at the telly, you on camera.
At the telly.
What is not on camera? Like.
So to his defense, so you saying that because everything is on camera, you should just be okay with putting it on camera?
No, on camera or not. My point is, don't do anything that you're ashamed of doing, including people. That's what I'm saying.
So, okay. So he's ashamed about, so why he gotta be ashamed if he just don't want it on social media?
And if you feel like, sorry, but to your point, if it's gonna block blessings and all of that, if you feel like your choice in partner is gonna block your blessings, don't be with that person. I just don't get it for me. Like, why would you be with someone that you feel like is gonna hinder you in any way?
So are you saying it's a hindrance because he wanna post it on social media?
No, what I'm saying is, he said
Right.
that being public about being with this person might block blessings.
Right.
Right? I'm not sure if you said or you said.
No, I said it.
Well, yeah,
yeah,
so,
that's exactly what
you
we
know,
said. Yeah.
And I feel like, why be with somebody that's gonna block your blessings? If anything, your partner should help you to grow, to flourish, to be great. I'm not gonna be with somebody I'm gonna feel like, oh no, like if I tell anybody to be together, it's gonna block my blessings.
So you're saying that he should have just came at peace with the fact that she's a porn star,
Of course. Of
and
course.
then just move forward.
Yeah. This is who you want to be with. I feel like, I think it sucks that so many people, I feel that it's a sign of you not being happy with yourself or at peace with yourself because you're not at peace with the decisions you're making, including your partner. Because the person that's at peace with themselves and chooses to be with a porn star or someone that's in a frowned upon career choice, you gonna be like, I don't care who knows. This is my lady. Like this is my lady. This is my man. I'm comfortable with that decision. I'm at peace with that decision, and I'm confident in that decision. Whoever else doesn't like it, that's not my problem. I'm at peace with it. But
So would you be with a man that was in the adult film industry?
would I be with a man? I mean,
You thought about it. This is interesting.
yeah, because
This is an interesting take. I just want you to know.
I don't know what this is rated PG or not.
This boy, look here at Filed and Polished with him. Okay.
I don't like in certain circumstances. I wouldn't mind seeing my partner pleasure someone else.
Okay.
To keep it, you know.
Keep it. Okay, you keeping it real.
You know.
Right. Keep it real. Go ahead.
Keep it real, keep it clean. I'm not
Right.
going, you know.
No, do your thing. Do your thing.
I wouldn't like me. That's my personal choice and preference. Like that's not something that I would mind. So him doing it professionally, I don't know if that would really bother me. But I've never been in that situation, so I can't.
Especially he bringing home the bag.
You bring home the bag, and I'm watching you.
And they call and they call him Deathstroke. Right. Go ahead.
But I also wouldn't be with somebody called Deathstroke.
Right. They call him Deathstroke.
You know,
Right.
That might be a little too much for me,
Right.
but
I'm saying,
you know, I don't know. I feel like sex work is so frowned upon.
Why then? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I feel like, 'cause especially in today's society, we're so sexually liberated that I don't really understand it. But I think, I will say this, I do feel like a lot of people have the sentiment of the more people you're intimate with, the less value you have as a person, especially women. I feel like for men, it's more like the more people you with, you the man. And for a woman, it's like the more people you with, you lose value. Which I understand. I know that there's a double standard.
Do you agree or not? That's the question. Do you agree with it?
I do agree to a certain extent.
What extent?
I feel like for me and my personal choices and decisions in life,
Right.
I feel like my body can only be shared with people that I'm connected with.
Okay.
You know, some people can have sex with people they don't even like. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, okay, we having sex, we thank you, I appreciate it. You
Go
know,
about my day.
go about my day.
Put the coffee on the table.
Right.
Right.
And that's fine.
Right.
But for me,
That's not your thing.
that's not my thing.
Okay.
So, and I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like sex is very intimate. I feel like sex is you, on another note, like you're sharing spirits. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's like spiritually, for me, I don't agree with it.
Okay.
But I'm not saying that it's wrong. You know what I mean? Like if that's your life, if you're sexually liberated and you're a woman or a man that likes to have sex with multiple people,
Right.
go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking you.
Look, get down, do your thing.
Do your thing.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
I might want to see it, you know, but
Right.
you know.
Uh-huh.
But for me personally, I just feel like I can't. And maybe one point in time in life, I would probably have felt different. But now, like I said, doing the growth and the work I've done on myself is just like spiritually. Even with my partner, if we're intimate and things are like off with us, if we've been arguing or it just doesn't sit well, I mean, I'm still gonna get mine, but it's not the same feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like when you're sharing spirit with someone and you're being intimate with someone,
Right.
like that stays with you.
Right. Was when I get that feeling, I start
Yeah.
robbing and stealing. Okay. I get it now.
But I don't think there's anything. I feel like sex work is individual. Like if you want to do sex work, if that's what you do, I'm not gonna knock you for it. I have friends that are strippers. I have friends that do sex work. I don't knock them for doing what they do. Would I do it? No. But live your life.
So are they like strippers or like just strippers or scrippers? Like which one? It's
What's
different.
What's the difference? Educate me.
A scripper. They get the bag.
All right, so I think this is the issue. I think for human beings, men and women, right? We all, in whatever way we see it, growing up, we all imagine having a mate that we can live happily ever after with, right?
Yep.
In whatever capacity. Some people have the fairy tale, some people is toxic, but in terms of, ride or die, whatever, but that one person is me and you against the world,
Right.
through thick and thin, it is what it is.
Shout out to the Disney movies.
Shout out to the Disney movies, yes. And the fear comes when, like you said, we start experiencing the world, we start doing the work on ourselves, and we find out that it is everybody's right to bail out whenever they feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
So it's like, yo, if I've been dating Shorty for 6 months and she decide, you know what, I don't like this no more, she's not wrong and she's not a villain
Right.
for that. No matter how I feel. I could be like, these girls is out of control. She's completely within her right.
Right.
It is also true that after 25 years, if she says, yo, you know what? I'm not feeling this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She's still very much within her rights.
For sure.
And I think that is where the fear comes in, because what makes happily ever after seems more likely is that spiritual bond you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is that intimate bond that you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The more things that you have stacked in your favor, the more happily ever after becomes a possibility. Right? So a big thing in relationships is intimacy. And one of the biggest acts, physical acts of intimacy is
sex.
Yes, sex. So when somebody's having sex with other people, that's something that's not exclusive within the relationship, and it kind of interferes with that intimacy, which therefore interferes with that bond.
For sure.
Now, I think people try to build the perspective that sex and bonds is two separate things, but there is also the argument that they are very much intermingled.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that said, it's like, can you feel secure? Like, in terms of loyalty, how can you measure loyalty when one of the people is a sex worker?
I think that, see, this is the thing about loyalty, right?
Talk about it.
I feel like loyalty is different for everyone. Loyalty and respect is different for everyone.
Right.
What I may consider loyal, you may not. What I consider respectful, you may not, and vice versa. So I think it's important to find a partner that that's like-minded, right?
Those same values.
The same exact values.
Okay.
So for sex workers, I think it's important. I'm not a sex worker, I can't speak for them, but just an outsider looking in, I think it would be reasonable or the best option to date someone that is in agreement with your lifestyle or is in the same lifestyle as you. Like, I wouldn't, if I was a sex worker, I wouldn't date someone that's hesitant to date me or doesn't understand my line of work. You know what I mean? Like, you have to agree that I would assume that most sex workers feel like when they're having sex with people within the business, that this is strictly business. And I think your man or your woman would have to respect and understand that and not feel cheated. You know, I think it's disloyal I think it's disloyal when you're both not in agreement. Like, if I say you can't go out and have sex with nobody and you go out and have sex with somebody, now you're being disloyal. But if we have the understanding of you can have sex with other people and I can have sex with other people, or maybe it's just the understanding of you can go and have sex with other people, like whatever the understanding is, that's where the loyalty lies.
Okay.
But, you know, if we're not on the same page, then you become disloyal. You know what I mean?
So that's what you, okay.
So in other words, so for the sex workers, you have to be with someone that wouldn't consider that cheating or disloyalty. You have to be in agreement. You have to be, you know.
I believe the thing would be in terms of, to compare it to like a normal relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be compared to a work wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technical difficulty. Yes.
All right, so I think it would be compared to but let's go with the work husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is maybe it's not the act itself, right? It's like, okay, yeah, that's what you do for a living, fine. You just can't build bonds with people. Just do the work, and it becomes a great area because you don't know when the bonds is being built and when it's not. And then when you do see a bond there.
What do you mean by that? You don't.
For example, let's say that there's a guy and a lady, and the lady catches her boyfriend, her husband, with the co-worker, with a lady.
With Miss Johnson.
With Miss Johnson.
And he tearing Miss Johnson through the frame.
No.
He's killing Miss Johnson.
No. He tells her, yo, first off, let me use your phrase, you're doing too much. And you says, how am I doing too much? And you're on a date. And he says, this is Miss Johnson, and we've been co-workers for 5 years, and today is her birthday. And I'm not the only one here. Everybody's here.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, I don't know. Like, this seems very intimate. And he says something along the lines of, yes, we were sharing an intimate moment, and we do feel very deeply for each other, but we never had sex. Is that still cheating?
Yes, you're emotionally cheating.
Oh.
And that is what comes down with the sex work, which is, oh yeah, you're doing the work, but is there bonds there? And then when you do see that bond, is he cheating now? But then you can say, yo, I was just doing my work.
I was just at work.
And it happens. Like, sometimes that's what happens in this line of work.
I was just at work.
I feel like, I don't know, I disagree. I feel like whether it be regular work or sex work, I feel like emotionally cheating is going to be a thing regardless. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's up to how solid you and your partner are.
Right.
Because if you have a solid partner, she's not going to have a work husband. And if you're a solid partner, you're not going to have a work wife. So there are going to be no bonds built. I feel like when you have the right partner, you're not even going to want to build bonds with anybody else. Like, you're going to be so focused on
Them. Right.
Us. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that's the way it should be. Is it the way that it always is? No.
but that's because people are with people that they shouldn't be with.
Hold on. Being people. Oh, you starting fires again. I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. You were starting a
I'm
fire.
just saying, people are in relationships they're unhappy in, and that's how the work husband ends up rubbing her back, or vice versa.
Oh,
You know, you're unhappy at home.
breaking her back. That's what the work husband doing. She got a nickname for him and everything.
Out of line.
Yeah, I'm just going to the chiropractor. Yeah. You know the work he was really doing. Yeah.
It's a shame.
So people are unhappy. So okay. Because I think someone said this. If people actually went for the people that they wanted to be with, then dating would be better, right? And do you agree with that? I mean, because think about it. I think that you should go for what you want, right? But I do also think that you should be honest with yourself. Like, sweetheart, like if you know you a Spelman girl, Chief Keef may not be your dude. Like, real talk. Like, I'm just saying, right? So how do you feel about that? Like, it's a thing of like knowing, and then execution is another. So.
I feel like there's a big difference also between what you want and what you need.
Ooh.
Like you might want certain things, but is it really good for you?
Ooh,
Do you really need
what
that?
you want and what you need. Ooh. Here you go, starting fires.
I'm not starting no fires.
Here
I'm
you
just-
go,
I'm
starting
just saying.
fires. There you
I'm
go.
just saying.
So break that down, because women don't know.
I mean, I feel like you have to know where you are first. That's the most important thing. What you need out of a man, what you need out of a relationship.
Right.
Whoever the partner may be.
Right.
You have to know what you need and what you want, and the difference. Like you said, you might want a Chief Keef. Is that going to help you with your goals and aspirations? Is it aligned with where you're going in life? And I feel like we have to also try to unlearn unhealthy behaviors as well. Because I feel like not every woman or man that's appealing to the eye is going to be good for your spirit, or good for your lifestyle.
So good for your soul.
I feel like you need to know what you need out of a relationship. And after speaking to that person or dating that person or, being involved with that person to whatever capacity, you have to kind of analyze the situation. Like, is this good for me?
Mm-hmm.
I know I want this. I want to be with this person, but do I need to be with this person? Is it good for me?
And so you just boil down to most people just don't know.
Or just don't care. He look good. She look good. This is what I want.
I mean, word.
No.
Say she look good, boy.
My favorite line when I was single would be like, "You're not ready for these problems." Like a man will
That's
be like,
the most toxic.
Not in a toxic way. I mean, listen, take it how you want. I'm not gonna try to convince you otherwise. But
No, you're right. You spend game. You
for
spend
these
game.
problems. I'm gonna tell you straight up. It's a lot of work being with me. I'm gonna make you think. I'm gonna make you work. I'm gonna make you a better person. I'm really gonna help you help yourself. And a lot of people are just not like that. So I really mean that when I say you're not ready for these problems.
Right.
You're not ready to find the solution, really. And yeah, that's just what it is. Like,
I like that you said that. I don't think people, right? And I think this is a lesson for not men and women, but for girls and boys. And my boys and girls can range from anywhere from 3 to 70 years old, right? Relationships are a responsibility, and a lot of time you have to grow within relationships in order for it to be maintained. So when I feel like when people say, "Why don't they accept me just for me?" I think that might be a red flag or just signs of immaturity, because I know it sounds unfair and not understanding, but it's also true that you can't be the same as you were alone.
When you with someone.
Right.
Exactly. And I think it is a real responsibility, like in terms of anything. Being a homeowner is a real responsibility. Getting your first car is a big responsibility. Getting your first dog is a big responsibility. And you know what's a bigger responsibility than all those things?
Dealing with a person.
Yes.
Sharing that with someone.
Yes. So now, yes. And I think that brings us back to the 50-50 situation, which is, oh yeah, I want to be in a relationship and stay the same. Like I wanna be in a relationship and my budget is still the same.
No, don't work.
I don't know if that's possible.
It's not healthy.
Like I don't think you can be in a relationship and still have all your time for you.
I think the right partner too. It's all about also going back to what I was saying before, being with the right person, because you're not gonna want to stay the same if you're with the right person. You're gonna want to grow. You're gonna want to build. You're gonna want better for not only for you but for that other person as well. And you start thinking about the other person when making decisions. You know, so it's really about who you're dating as well.
It's not magic.
Right.
It's not a magic wand. And that starts with a decision. And if you're not in the space to grow, nobody can pull you out.
Wait, hold on. How you gonna tell me it's not a magic wand? I was watching Harry Potter all my life. I believe in magic.
For example, ladies would tell guys, and I think this is true for guys, to get down on the dudes. Let's do it. They say, oh man, when the right lady come along, he's gonna change, right?
That's true.
And not necessarily. Sometimes he just become older. And then he becomes more responsibility, and then he finds
the right girl.
Yes. Sometimes he was just too young and too immature, regardless of how perfect she was. He just wasn't ready. And I think that is a real thing. And it's like, how, if I'm not ready, can somebody make me ready? Is that on somebody else, or is that a personal responsibility?
It is personal responsibility. Nobody can make you ready. My mother used to tell me something all the time. She used to say, what Tom don't bring ain't coming. And that's just what it is.
But I agree and I disagree, right? I agree with the fact that, you know, it's a personal decision, growth in general.
Right.
However, when you are with the right partner, you're gonna have the overwhelming feeling of wanting to do better. No matter how big or small the situation might be, you're gonna want to do better for that person. You know, whether it's, I'm just gonna speak for women. You know what I mean? I might not care how my hair looks, but if I'm gonna see this person, I know he's gonna be around, I'm gonna fix my hair up. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to naturally do better. Or for men, I'm gonna go see Shorty, I'm gonna go get this lineup. You know what I mean? Like, that's on a small scale. On a bigger scale, it's like, okay, I have a job, I'm making $60K, I really want to be with her, I want to get her a ring, I want to get her a house, I gotta make more money. You know, so it's an instant that comes when you're with the right partner. But in today's society, everybody wants instant gratification, and it doesn't matter, you know, who you're with or who your partner is, you just want to be in a relationship. So you're never going to really have those feelings, because you're not even thinking about who you really with. Who is this person? You know, so I do feel like it's a personal decision, but I feel like with the right partner, they will prompt that decision making.
I mean, but that's under the assumption that people are willing to change.
Right. But I also think it's not willfully driven. I feel like, no, like, yeah, the feeling of wanting to change something or wanting to grow. I feel like that's something that it's like an instinct, you know, you just automatically do it. It's not even a thought process. It's like, I'm going to see him, I want to look my best. I'm going to see her, I want to look my best. I want to marry her, I have to make more money. I have to, you know, be able to get a ring, whatever. So I don't think it's a thought process of, I want to, you know, it's just naturally you want to do these things.
Hold on, man. Can we give flowers to the go-getters? Because, I mean, that's what it sounds like you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
A go-getter. A go-getter is, yo, seriously, I'm not ready for this girl, but I met the girl and I want to keep her.
Yes, I love the energy.
Let me figure this out.
She said, I love the energy.
Love the energy.
Know what I'm saying?
I love it, yes.
And then there's some dudes who would say, yo, I like the shorty and I really like her. It's a lot of pressure. Let me disappear for a few months.
Right.
And just...
She's too much. She's doing too much.
Yes. Because he's depressed. He don't know how to deal with it.
Because
he haven't grown.
He wasn't ready for those problems.
Exactly.
He wasn't ready for those problems.
He wasn't ready for them problems.
You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't ready for them problems.
And I think that's when what do they call it? I believe they call it the white buffalo. or the unicorn or
Yes.
the girl who got away.
Mm-hmm.
That's what usually happened with the girl who got away is he met a girl, he had a paradigm shift, and he says, I really want to keep her, but he did not know how to fight through his traumas to keep her.
Mm-hmm.
So she inspired the right thoughts, but he didn't know what steps to take. You get me? And it's like, oh, it didn't matter that I wanted her. Like, mine wasn't over matter in this situation because I still had something stopping me. There was still an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're saying is absolutely true. There's some dudes and some ladies who would say, oh, no, we're going to break these obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's fast or slow or whatever, we're gonna figure this out.
For sure.
We're going to figure this
And
out.
I do feel like men do change for the women that they want. I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It might take time. You might have to be patient. I'm not saying be with a liar, a cheater, a no good for nothing type of man, but I do feel like sometimes ladies do need to give men a little bit of grace because we do mature faster, you know, and that's just what it is. But I also feel like you never meet the right person at the wrong time. I feel like timing is everything, and you're never gonna meet the right person at the wrong time.
You don't think that's the case?
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
No, I don't.
How come?
I believe that you meet everyone right when you're supposed to meet them, and what you do with that opportunity is on you.
You believe in destiny?
I believe in divine destiny, so I believe that.
Or soulmates? Is that?
I believe in soulmates. I believe in soulmates. I believe.
Wait, all right. Definition of soulmate. And my definition of soulmate is simply a person you're compatible with. I believe that you can find happiness. Like, you have to choose one because we have to be an adult. But in theory, you can probably get along with several people.
Yeah, I believe in soulmates. I believe in twin flames. I believe in all of that stuff. You know, I don't feel like you just have one soulmate. I don't think that that's a thing. I also don't believe soulmates only have to be romantic. You know, so if you're talking about, like, my best friend that my co-host on Hood and Healing.
Shout out to Hood and Healing.
Okay.
Hey.
That's for sure my soulmate. That's for sure my soulmate. Not in a romantic way, but she's definitely my soulmate. So yeah, I do believe that you have several soulmates. I do believe that you have a twin flame. So a twin flame is pretty much someone that is a mirror image of you, you know? And I believe you meet these people when you're supposed to meet these people. Now, the person, like, you're one person that you are destined to be with, that you know, I don't believe everybody finds that. I think that the decisions you make, you know, will determine your destiny. I feel like, so this is how I feel about life in general, not only relationships. There's a destination, right?
Of course it is.
That you are going to get to, the end of your life. This is where you're going to go. Now, I believe God provides different routes for us, and we create different routes, and other entities create different routes. You know, whatever route you take is on you, but you're still going to end up in the same place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're meant to be successful, if you're meant to change the world, if you're gonna do that. You know what I mean? It's just how long it takes you, that's on you. How you get there, that's on you. You know, that's just my belief. What do you guys think? Do you agree, disagree?
I definitely do think that you are on a specific journey. I do believe that 100%. The route that you determine to get there will ultimately dictate how and if you get there. Because the decisions you make now do affect you for the rest of your life. And something my father used to tell me, happy endings just don't happen. You have to create them. Right? So, do I think people create the future that they want? Absolutely. I do think that no matter what you do, something is always out there for you, but you definitely create the happy endings you want. 100%. I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
Cory, what do you think about that?
Oh man. Let's talk about destiny and free will. Aren't they a contradiction?
100%.
You believe so?
Mm-hmm. But I believe I look at it from this lens, right? I see it less as the puppet master controlling all the strings, right? Which means this is your destiny and that's where you're going to end up at, right? I look at it less that way and look at it in terms of, oh, I already foreseen the future and I see where your decisions lead you to.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that we don't know how we end up there.
Correct.
So the end is there, but it's not because somebody's pulling strings. Now, sometimes that does play an influence on it.
Yes.
It do play a part.
I agree.
But we're trying to figure out our way there. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, and it's a lot of factors. It's everything kind of like spread into another thing. You get me? Like everything overlaps.
Yes.
It's like a domino effect. Okay.
Yes, everything overlaps.
And there's so many factors.
And we try to create patterns and make sense of things when it just all overlaps.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The color of your skin, where you was born, when you was born, how you was born, who's your family, what's your family,
You can't determine that.
what's your feelings, how you control your feelings, what's your spirit, who are you naturally, you get me? If you're all these things come together to create you, and that also influence other people, just like you're being influenced by other people.
Yes.
And it becomes a whole domino, a grand finale. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we are just trying to figure out how we get there. And sometimes, and I think looking at successful people is the best way to try to understand it. When you look at successful people, what we try to do is we try to break it down into a system. And the funny thing about that is that once that person becomes successful using that system usually, that door usually disappears. People become successful differently.
Yes.
You get me? Just like people find love differently.
100%.
You get me? So it's like, oh yeah, I see him and I see her and I see their relationships. That's not how it's going to work out for me. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean, but what does that really mean? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Or it's just, it is what it is.
I believe, okay, so the first thing is, I feel like I agree with what you're saying about different, routes to success. But I feel like overall, success is nothing but consistency and persistence. No matter what career, line of work, what you got going on, if you are persistent and if you have consistency, you will be successful, right? You know how they say practice makes perfect. So it's like if you want to be successful at anything, you just have to be consistent and persist. Well, every successful person I've ever met or have heard their story, the number one thing is they were consistent and they didn't give up.
They remain disciplined.
That's it. That's all. And as far as love goes, I don't feel like you find love. I feel like love is created. I feel like people have this fairy tale in their mind of like, oh, I'm gonna find love at first sight. I'm gonna meet this person. It's gonna be fireworks and this. And I'm not saying that that's not true or possible or anything is possible. But I feel like you create love. You don't automatically love somebody. That's something that takes time.
Right.
So we have to kind of try to unlearn that. The fact of, I'm going to meet somebody and fall in love.
I think I like that because your analogy with success would work in love, but the problem with that, and this is the biggest problem, is simply that we can't control the other person because it does work if the other person is on the same path.
Yeah, if we all on board, but they won't.
If one person is like, persistent and consistency could get us to where we need to be. We can create this love and if they're both on board, I think that can work.
Of course, and so any successful relationship, any healthy relationship, it takes work and it takes time. Like, you are choosing every day to love that person. Every day you wake up and it's a choice. I'm gonna be with this person. I'm gonna love them.
Nah, what if it's just the days that I like them? What if the days I don't like them?
But you're still choosing to be with them.
Fine.
You know, like love is a choice. You create it. It's not something that it's not magic like your Harry Potter wine. You know, like you have to choose. I love this person. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't feel that way. Even with your kids. You know, like, yes, you love them naturally. I'm their mother. I love them. Some days I don't like them. And some days I have to be like, this is my kid.
Some days I don't like.
Like, any real parent will tell you, sometimes you just don't like your kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you still choose to care for them, cook for them, clean up after them, help them with their homework. It's a choice. Some parents choose not to do it.
True.
Some parents are like, adoption, this, that, abortion, whatever.
Right.
You know? Not knocking those decisions, but I'm just saying it's a choice, you know, that you make. So regardless if you know it or don't know it, you're choosing love. You just don't fall in love.
Right. So before we wrap up, because this is very interesting, I just don't want y'all to come after me because I didn't say it. I was just, what can we expect from Hood and Healing podcast? In the future?
I guess a lot of controversial topics. And just, so my main focus with Hood and Healing is just trying to, you know, share my experience.
Right.
My experience and my journey to happiness, you know, to growth, to success, you know, hopefully that's in my cards.
Right.
Just to share that with people. I feel like raw, true conversations need to be had. And not for the cameras,
Right.
and not for, you know, people's likes or shares or follows, but simply because it's conversations that need to be had.
Right.
And I hope people enjoy the journey and ride that ride with me.
Well, I appreciate you coming. I just want you to know that. I appreciate you.
Of course, I appreciate you having me.
Do you like your nails?
I love
You know,
them. They're beautiful.
You know, and
Yes.
this has been very interesting. I will say, your perspective on life is a very intriguing one because you speak from a lot of experience, right? You speak from a lot of walking your journey and understanding how my steps need to be placed.
Right.
Which is refreshing because you don't necessarily you don't hear this. You don't hear this often. You don't hear this as the mantra, right? And that's one of the last things I'll ask you is, as you journey through life and as you're on your, you know, your what you continue to do, what's your mantra? What's the thing that keeps you going every day to do what you do, to be who you are, to achieve what you want to achieve?
I have so many, but I will say do all things with love. Like, if I'm not in love with it, I'm not doing it. If I can't do it with a full, kind heart, I'm not going to do it. So I think just doing everything with love. Not saying yes to things I want to say no to. And not doing things to appease other people, but simply for myself.
Doing all things with love.
Yes, that's where I'm at.
Doing all things with love. This has been another episode of On the Top Coat with your host T. Davis and the lovely Precious Paige.
Thank you for having me.
Presented by File and Polish, the first luxury nail care service that is exclusive and affordable, because here at File and Polish, we care. I will see you on the next episode.
Bam!
That was great.
Hey!
I thought that was the cute, period.
Yes,
Do you like them?
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yo, bro.
I love it.
Yes,
It goes
yes,
with my
yes.
bag.
Ooh.
You're not even.
2 times.